pressure off. And now Pinder might try and go for the counter-attack, but he is fighting 3 expansions, one of them a rich mineral field, and three spine crawlers straight down there, prepping for this attack. The Colossus can kill him from range. The Ling just rushing themselves down there bit by bit. Is lambs to the slaughter, but they're coming in from behind as well. Are they going to keep the pressure on at the moment? Pinder deciding to really push it in. One spine crawler down. The pressure's still coming off. One queen on the front line. In come the Lings again. They're still keeping this continuous harassment on here, but he can do it. He's got enough resources to actually keep this up. 32 Ling units are in production. Mass Queen's actually trying to pump out as well, trying to push them back here and keep these spine crawlers alive. 2 of them are now up. They're going to push them in, and the Queens are coming in from the expansion. GG, well played from Pinder. He knows the extra expansion is there. He's got no more units to pump out at the moment. He had 1 Colossus, 1 Sentry, and 1 Zealot with an Observer thrown in for good luck at the end of that one. The mass Lings, there was just nothing that Pinder could have done to push that down. But he was so close, and what a play there. What a gutsy play from JustInTime to go for the base trade with Pinder not actually having scouted that rich mineral field. If he scouted it, it could have been a completely different ball game. But JustInTime, he's taking us to 3.
Yeah, no, I think Pinder did actually see it with his what do you call it, with his observer. But just the timing of when he decided to move those Lings out, he was sort of caught in, he couldn't really decide what he wanted to do, and that's what ultimately cost him there. But yeah, if he kept his army at the base there, he wouldn't have lost that Nexus. And I think he would have continued playing at this point if he hadn't lost that Nexus and knew about that gold. I reckon he would have continued playing, but oh well. Bad luck, Pinder. You need to practice more, buddy.
He still need to push out though. Like, you can understand why he put his army out there. He needed to stop the Zerg from expanding. He knew it was happening somewhere. It had to happen somewhere. It's what the Zerg do. And to actually sit there on a map as small as Steps of War, you can't do it because the Zerg reinforcements, as we saw, just kept pumping in, and they pumped in fast through the creep and the speedlings. There was no way to stop the pressure. But we are moving ourselves to scrap station here, Pandan. So JustInTime will be up on the 12. Pinder as the Protoss will be on the 2. And, well, let's see how this is going to end.
Alrighty, 3, 2, 1, and click. And that's right, our Zerg player has got himself on the 12 position, which means he does have the creep spread much closer to that very fat ramp, which means Protoss Pinder will not be able to block off that ramp with just a standard configuration. He'll have to do something a little bit different if that's what he's after. And yeah, here we are. Pretty basic sort of map, this one. It's a very close position for both the two players, and they have to walk a very long way around, or they can bust through this gap here. Key things to note for this map is if the Zerg does try to go for an extra queen just to produce creep, highly advantageous on this map, Toby. Incredibly powerful, especially with the creep tunes being able to spread across those destructible rocks in the middle.
It is. I think the biggest thing the Zerg always have to watch out for is those void rays. On this map, Pinder, there is a very, very small gap by air, but very, very long by land. And you're right. If the creep tumors do go off, it's a very, very fast trip for the Zerg and a very, very slow trip for the Protoss. But the Protoss, they're just so good at pumping out those fast void rays through the Stargates that you've got to be very, very careful about it. And he's got to bring down that Overlord before he actually does it, in case it does actually get scouted. So that sub-base core needs to come up. The gateway needs to come up. The gateway is already being done, so he's going for the low wall, so he can actually protect his natural expansion. And this is something which is now it's almost par for the course for Scrap Station for most Terran and Protoss players to actually do this, especially considering those destructible rocks the destructible debris did actually get added in, well, a long time ago now, but back in the beta when it first came out, there was no debris there, and it was such a hard time holding on to that expansion. But this time around, dropping it down low, and I'm really interested to see what Pinder's going to do on this map. Is he going to try the ground battle, or is he going to take it to the air?
Yeah, he definitely has a pretty good choice for both there, and should be coming up with Cybercore soon, I assume.
Yeah, I think he's waiting for the pylon to actually finish construction. He's setting a probe down. No, there's a Cybergame's core. He's going to do it on the wall.
Yeah, he was a little bit late on that one. A little bit late with that Cybercore. He could have meant to have his probe down there ready for the build, but oh well. Roach Warren again, just in time, playing with the roaches.
Lings are out, and the Zealot only just entering the production line here on the gateway. They will have just enough time to run there. There's no chrono boost on the Zealot. There'll probably be maybe a 5-second gap that those two Lings will have to pump themselves through. The upside for Pinder is only 2 Lings. He can micro those guys out. Sub-AS core now gets finished, and in they go through. There's that little bit of a gap. It's about 3 seconds, not 5 seconds. And well, Pinder, he will lose 1 probe from this. He won't lose the second one though. Those Zerglings though will actually make a little bit of a hampering on him. A second gateway now going down the back lines. But those Lings are going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt to him.
Yeah, and luckily he hasn't put out a Baneling nest, because they could be a massive pain in the butt, especially with the fact that Pinder's just decided to leave him there. And Stalker coming through right now, going the exact wrong way, but they should run into this Zealot here, get blocked, and get taken out with the help of that Stalker. But of course we do have...
Run,
oh my.
Run.
Oh my. Look at what's happening for our Zerg player.
Rosy. Pull the Stalker out, and the Lings are going to die anyway, but it just makes them take their time.
But look at your minimap, Toby.
Roaches, drones. What? All in. It's an all in. It's an all in. Can he actually bring down the front lines? That is absolutely everything JustInTime has got to try and push down these front lines. He's got to attack the main... oh, what? They pull back. Pinder lets him through. Pinder lets him through. And in come the Lings. They might go for the mineral line, because they've got to try and balance it out in case this goes horrendously wrong. The probes are on the front line taking the damage, while the Stalkers are getting attacked from back here by the drones. The Roaches are going down. There's not enough units left at the moment. More Lings coming through, attacking on the front lines. Even the Queen has made the trip for good luck. And the probes coming through. There are 2 Stalkers up. 2 Stalkers for Pinder to try and hold back JustInTime, who has 6 Lings, 4 Roaches, as well as a Queen in the mix. Roach just taking out the probe line. Pinder, GG son, you have found yourself in the lower bracket. Even the Queen is going up now. Once all those probes are down, there is nothing left. Now warping in the Stalkers, 3 Stalkers. The probes, drones instantly on top of it. Probes try and make a bit of a wall here, but the Lings just running themselves straight over the top here. Even the Queen coming in, Roaches on top, and well...
I don't know, man. If he survives this with these 2 Stalkers, there is nothing for the Zerg. There's nothing at all. He can micro around all of these units right now and win the game with 2 Stalkers, and it looks like he's damn well in the way of doing it right now. I don't know if he has enough. He's cornered himself. No, Pinder, no.
Surround.
There we go.
There he goes. Pinder goes down. It would have taken one hell of a... hang on, no, 1 Zealot. 1 immortal Zealot. That's dead.
Yeah, he's left the game. He could well have done that if he continued to walk himself down the ramp and around, perhaps around his expansion, give himself a bit more room. But as you could see, there was no damage actually hitting him until he got himself cornered in that room. So yeah, he could have definitely won that. Just a bit of a choke. I did actually see him chrono boost the Cybercore when he wasn't building anything from it in that little stress attack there. So Pinder and Legionnaire both down in the lower bracket. Would not have picked that before the tournament started.
Well, hang on. This is our tournament of surprises, isn't it? That's what Starcraft 2 is all about. The pros become the noobs as everyone else moves up. With such a massive player pool through this Storm tournament as well, you got to expect interesting strats to actually come out like this one, and it's really going to test those top players. You can have a horrendous match and you die to cheese, and you're like, oh my god, that just happened to me. But that's something which the pros are going to deal with. The veteran players of StarCraft 2, which are developing right now, they've got to find a way in the future to actually say, okay, this has happened here, here, and here. How the hell do I stop this? Like, we're going to see Legionnaire go back in time as well and go, okay, how the hell do I deal as a Protoss with an early expansion? He hadn't found a way yet. Maybe he'll find one in the future. Maybe we'll see one in the future too, because we've got more action coming up here. Storm 2010 tournament, which hopefully be heading ourselves into the next round after this match. We've had a couple of round 1 matches for tonight, and well, we'll be heading ourselves through into well, round 2 of the winners bracket, as well as our first round of the losers bracket.